when it comes to my kids, I feel humanly bad for saying this, but morally, spiritually, and for their sole purposes, this makes complete sense to me now, and I have to realize this and hold on to this thought and keep it fresh so that I don't get too sucked into what I call Danness. If I get too personal about the things in my life that I wish I had, but don't have, like my kids. Well, with my older kids and my younger kids, my older kids they're all going through things now on their sides of their mom's families that I can't show them because I'm past that level of thought. Like the false idea of religion that the older one's mom has, that she's losing even because she doesn't have faith in the religion she was doing. She was just doing it because she wanted to do what she thought was right. You can tell when you see people and you know whether they believe what they're talking about or not, or whether they're just trying to. And they're convincing themselves. And they weren't convincing the kids, and the kids aren't convinced because what they were talking about wasn't it. They might have some good theories and some good things, and they may talk about the Bible, and those things may make you, feel good or touch a spot in your heart, but they're not the complete story. Everything's true in its own way, but they're not completely the truth. So, going on about that, like, the heart aches that my kids are going to go through by going through their relationships and doing that kind of stuff that I don't do anymore. I don't do it because I see past it. And I'm not saying that it's quote unquote right or wrong for people to date because people are going to keep doing it anyway, whether that makes any sense or not. If we're supposed to love everybody the same, and it's not just a cliche statement, everybody should be worthy of your love as even as the next, and there's no reason they aren't. The only reason it's like that is because we aren't shown how to truly love when we're young. Instead, we're shown to show favoritism and be partial to the people that agree with us, or be nice to the people that are like us and avoid the people that aren't like us. And that's what we're taught from a young age. And that's what our parents were taught. So you can't expect them to teach us anything different. It's up to us to forgive and forget, or not to forget, or just to forgive, because we learned and we have so much to teach, instead of being like, okay, we know better, but we're going to keep showing you the same stuff, even though we know better. Why would we do that? Why are we doing that? I don't know. We need people like me to lead, not because Dan is this big, huge, great thing, at the same time as I believe I'm a great thing. I just don't think I'm a big, huge whatever. Nobody needs to have that importance or that shine over anybody else. I don't want that. I want to help people be their true selves and understand what we are. That's simply it. There's no catch. There's no anything I hidden underneath it, agenda. I'm here to help. I'm here to save people from the fake ideas that we've had our whole lives. So, with my kids, the younger ones, like, their mom and her mom's family is so clueless. They're so material. It's fine. I love them for the roles they're playing. My exes have their roles now, and I understand them. They're teaching my kids things that I can't teach them because I'm past that. And I was already past that before I had kids. And then I had kids because I thought I wanted to, do the right thing and do what we're supposed to do. And what I was supposed to be doing after my first experience was attempting to save the world. And as silly as it may sound to some people, I've always thought this, and it's coming true. But instead, I went along with, back then it's too close to the days when I thought you had to be tough and strong and badass, and, I was going through my tough guy stage and drugs and violence and being hard, so just going from that, I couldn't do the big switch. I did the half switch to love started being the only objective because I didn't want to be that old person. I just didn't know what to do at that point because I knew the old system was wrong, but my new system at that time was wrong too, according to what I would think wrong and right are, in a moral sense. But by that time, it was too much to make that adjustment, and then I met people, and my heart was open, and then the family started, and there we go, and it made sense. I wanted to be the best dad I could be, and by not being there, is probably the best thing for them, because I wouldn't have been able to show them those things. If I would have had them there, I'd have been too nice and too kind, and I would have done it wrong then, because I still didn't know. I needed all that time by myself to finally get over the fact that I was missing them. It took me almost 10 years to finally get over the fact that I missed my kids and I couldn't be without my kids and I couldn't be without my kids. And after 10 years of being without my kids, I realized there's no choice, Dan. You got to move on and things will work. And I moved on. Not giving rid of my kids, but giving rid of that whole idea that I needed it. And now that I don't need it, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. And my kids need to learn certain lessons without me, and I need to learn how to not say certain things to almost put down what they're going through right now, because even though I see through it and see past it, I can't just blatantly come out and say, don't do that because this is how this is and this is how that is, because it doesn't make any sense to them on a level where everything else they hear is the opposite, and people are living opposite. So I have a lot of work cut out for me, but at the same time, if I just let it go, there's no work at all to be done. It's just life itself happening. And it doesn't mean I'm just going to sit back and do nothing. It's just that I'm going to do my best with no direction pointed at one individual, just at all, at the whole. Show complete love to all and acceptance to all, and be that way and stay that way. Not just get sucked into Danness and go back to being like, but I gotta get my kids to understand how much they mean to me, because then that takes me right back to failing again, what I would call failing. But I'm never a failure. It's just those moments of setback, where you could be moving forward, but you're holding yourself back in your mind. And I can't do that any longer. I love my kids. I love people around me. I love everything. Literally. So much. I love dirt. I love everything. I don't need to go on. But just, I love you guys. God bless.